Hey everyone, my name is Roy Kumar and I'm the owner and founder of Sandy Bay Media. Quick take today, I'm going to go through some of the interesting facts that I've found about US college sports, but more specifically women's soccer. Alright, so first up, the amount of different competitions that are available in the US was astounding to me. So you've got the NCAA, which is the one that everyone's heard of. Then you've got the NJCAA. To me, it was like, well, what is NJCAA? Well, I learned about it, and I'm going to tell you about it. A NAIA competition. What does that all mean? Well, I'm going to let you know a little bit later. That was the first thing I found out, and the amount of teams that are involved, wow, it was mind-blowing. Just looking at the NCAA, Division 1, you've got 333 colleges just for women's soccer. Division 2, 265 colleges are part of the NCAA Division 2. D3, you're looking at over 440 colleges across the country that are participating. That's mind-blowing. Now, the second thing that I found quite interesting was the seasons, how it's broken up into fall and winter seasons. I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It's mainly because obviously being in Australia, we're in the opposite of what the Americans have. But once I found out that there's two different seasons, and I believe it's the fall season, which is their main competition that runs at the end of the year, that goes into nationals and national championships, and that's between August to November, I believe, and then December, if it continues to December if you win your conferences and you go through all that. In fact, third thing that I found quite interesting was that during these competition seasons, students are still studying, and a lot of the times they've got finals, but they're still playing. They could be heading into state, or they could be heading to a different state to play in a national championship. Monday morning, they got to get back and get on the books because they have a finals coming up. So I found that quite interesting. Fourth thing was that during the season, there's, especially with the NCAA, there are rules that colleges have to adhere to. So like, for example, there's a limited amount of time that a coach can train their players for. I think it's about 8 hours a week during the winter season. Their winter season, and then it might increase towards the end of towards the summer season. But it's something interesting I found, and it might vary from conference to conference, region to region, that kind of thing. But I'm not entirely. Yeah, it might just vary from 8 hours or more, or less, just depending. But that was something interesting. Okay, so what is the NJCAA and what is the NAIA? I'm going to share a little bit of what I've learnt and what I found out, because it was completely opposite to what I thought the NJCAA was. Originally, I thought it was a college for juniors, people under the age of 18, or just a high school competition. No, I was completely wrong. The NJCAA is a junior college, which in the US means it's a college that offers a 2-year degree, and that's it. Once they finish their 2 years, if students want to continue studying or they want to continue playing and studying, they will go to a NCAA college, which offers a 4-year degree, or an AIA college. It just comes down to the individual. One of the things they do differently is that the requirements to get into an NCAA college as a student athlete is very different compared to the NCAA. I think the big one is your grade point average at an NCAA college has to be a 3.0, which is a B average or a B plus average. It's somewhere there. It's a lot lower with the NJCAA, so it makes it a lot easier for students to get in. But also with the NJCAA, you could be a national team player, you could be a professional footballer who's played at the highest level of being paid. You can go to an NCAA college. With the NCAA, you can't do that. The rules around it are very different. Okay, let's have a look at what NAI is. They're one of the organizations that we have a partnership with, KCAC, out in Kansas, are an NAIA conference, which is going to be interesting because we'll get to learn a lot more about it, and we'll get to compare the differences between their competitions and the NCAA throughout the entire year. So it's quite exciting. But what it is, it's an independent competition, so they have their own governing rules, their own governing body, and the colleges there essentially are independent. are independent of the NCAA, and they function as their own body, which is governed by the NAIA, which will oversees the local conferences. I think I've got that right. If I haven't, let me know. And then lastly, I found all of that quite fascinating. Oh, and then lastly, ESPN contracts. So I spoke with a lot of colleges and conferences, and the amount of conferences and colleges that have an ESPN contract was mind-blowing, especially in the D1 space, where their games, once they get out of the conferences, their games are being broadcasted on the national stage. Insane. Well, look, thanks for joining us and thanks for joining us